Whether it's your mum, your grandma, your stepmom, your cat mum, there are all kinds of people that you might want to get a special gift for Mother's Day. These 3 projects are quite diverse. One celebrates a slightly older person, someone with a bit of a legacy to them. Another is great as a versatile present for any kind of mother figure in your life. And the third one might be perfect for a younger or newer mum, someone that celebrates their new baby or child. So you let me know which one is your favourite, and let's get into it. My mum is many wonderful things, but she is not a baker. However, her rock cakes are from this recipe book, and she does them perfectly. So I asked my very patient mother to write out the rock cake recipe from this book so I could use the handwriting to go on the chopping board. This is the recipe my mum wrote out for me. In fact, this was attempt 2 because my mum has very tiny writing. But it should be perfect for engraving on a chopping board. So first, let's go and find one. I popped into Home Bargains. They had this set of 2 chopping boards for just £2.99. And the nice thing about this set is that the smaller one is perfect to be able to do a test on it, so I can check the settings are going to work. I did do the test, and I'll leave all the settings I've used in the blog post listed in the description below if you want to recreate the project for yourself. So you've got your handwritten recipe. The first thing you want to do is take a photo of it and change the contrast and brightness so that the writing stands out as much as possible from the background. Then import it into the Xtool software. Edit the image to crop down to just the details you need and remove the background. Next, select Trace Image, and that recreates your handwriting, but so that each element is editable. Ungroup it so that all of the different elements are separated. Then you can go in and delete the lines, or if there were any mistakes or anything that you don't want engraved, this is the time to remove them. Then onto the engraving. Masking tape really helps make sure that the wooden surface doesn't char at all, and it simply peels off other than a few spots where you need to get it out of any holes like the O or a 10. As bamboo is not solid wood, you might get some variation in how it engraves. If that's not a look that you prefer, then you should probably engrave on some solid wood. To clean up the engraving, you can simply use a damp cloth, or I used a wet wipe, and it gets rid of some of the charring. Then finally, to seal it, you can use a mineral oil, or this is hemp seed oil, and that hardens to give it a protective top coat. This bamboo board is actually really helpful because it is identical on the front and the back. Simply display the side with the recipe on it, and when you want to use it, turn it over and use the other side because it's also flat. And naturally, we had to test out Grandma's Rock Cakes recipe too. So if you have someone in your life you would love to keep their recipe in an extra special spot, this could be the perfect Mother's Day gift. Can I help you? Notepad, 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 notepad. And these are just the notepads that I've actually used. There are more that are in hiding. If you're anything like me, you will love a notepad, and even more special if you can personalise it and make it special for that mother figure in your life. So let's do one. Hello, hello. And just a heads up, if you are engraving something thick like this notebook, you will need to remove the base plate and raise up the machine so that the notebook is in line with the engraver. So I only have one of this notebook. Yes, I could have bought another one, but actually This happens really often that you only have one. You might have a special piece of wood or a sign from somebody else that they want you to engrave, and it can happen that you just have to check the best settings that you can and just have a go. So without a spare material to do a test on, I'm going to use the words "with love" on the back of the notebook at the bottom, something that won't look out of place, but will tell me whether or not my settings are going to work. I can see from the time lapse on my phone that it did engrave, so I'm really excited. Let's see what it looks like. How pretty is that? So let's have a look what we can find, what will look good as a simple line drawing for a front cover to make this notebook really special. I didn't decide straight away what I was going for. I chose a few options to play around with, including some line drawings of poppies and this face of a woman. That is what I went for in the end. There are probably endless combinations of images and words or quotes that you could put on this notebook, whatever is special to the person you are gifting it to. I just found this image really pretty and delicate. I added the word mummy to it and changed the typeface into something a little bit more like pretty handwriting. Really simple, but something that should engrave really nicely. While I'm changing the settings, you can see what it would look like if you were to use the score function. It would give you more of an outline rather than a thick block, because it engraves a thin line rather than taking out all of the material between the lines. And while you should do your own settings test, for me on this faux leather notebook, what worked was power 20 and speed 80. Alright, let's see how we did. This engraved really beautifully and is such a versatile idea. For my final project, I have been inspired by this handprint art, and I'm going to take the idea of this and put it onto a slate. And this is the small heart slate I'm going to use, with quite a lot of texture. First of all, for a handprint, you need a photo of a hand. Canva has some pretty good background removing wizardry, so that is where I took the photo of the hand to. First of all, remove the background with background remover. Then you can edit out the arm with the magic eraser tool. The most important thing is the shape of the hand, so you want the fingers to be spread out a little bit and for the hand to be quite flat so that it looks as natural as possible. Then you want to take away the colour of the photo, so remove the saturation, and you can change some settings like brightness and contrast if you feel you need it, but you won't get a lot of detail within the hand itself. It is the basic shape that you're going for. For the last element of this slate, I am going to use some song lyrics from the song "You'll Be in My Heart" from the film Tarzan by Phil Collins. Here you could write any special quote. You could do the birthday of a child, a favourite song, a favourite quote, anything that is special and pairs well with the handprint idea. It's a good idea when you are engraving on a dark colour like this slate to invert the image. This just helps it stand out. Then finally it's time to position the two different elements, the handprint and the quote. And the texture of the slate just gives it a bit more depth to the handprint and makes it look a bit more realistic, which is really lovely. This is such a nice present, especially if you are gifting to a first-time mum, for example, or you could have a few different handprints around the edge. This is really lovely and a bit more durable than your traditional painted handprint. Whether you are being the person celebrated or doing the celebrating for Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to you. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It makes a huge difference to smaller channels like mine, and you'll be the first to see the next project that I've got coming up, which is a little bit of a rainbow. That's your teaser for you. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye.